everybody, and welcome to What Happens in This House Stays in This House Strength Over Silence podcast. I am your host, Tammy Montgomery Dozier. Hello, everyone. It's been a minute since I've talked to you all by myself. I've had guests and everything, which have been great. I'm getting to meet some very interesting people. Just so much going on. And it's been a minute since I've talked by myself and the things that are going on with me. And I wanted to do like a mental health check-in. We're in 2022. We've had a couple of years of the pandemic, not let alone of all the things that have been going on in our lives already. This has been something else. We've lost family members to this pandemic. I've lost family members, not even just for COVID, but, for other reasons. Because life happens. Things happen in life and unexpected things happen. So on top of that, dealing with the being at home, for those who don't like being at home or like being out in the world, dealing with wanting to go out, get your life together. However, the surges and, then we have this fight of the vaccinated, unvaccinated, and we just have so many things going on. We have social media, so many things are happening. And then if you're in close proximity with your family every day and you weren't able to get out the house, you had your kids at home, family and the job. And for some, it may have been better to work from home instead of being with everyone in the workplace, because it tends to be pressure intense when you're in that type of environment. So some it might have been even better for you. But I just want to talk about like what's going on. I mean, for myself, I like to do the check-in, and if you've listened to me before, it's called PIES. P-I-E-S, physically. How are you doing physically, intellectually, emotionally, and spiritually? Physically, I am on a downslope. So not too long ago, I was supposed to have surgery, and I got in the ER and things didn't go right. That was like the one most scariest things in my life. They had me under and they had to bring me back because something happened and my blood pressure shot up. So mentally, I had to deal with that and not being able to have surgery. But the not even being able to have surgery was not even, doesn't bother me. It was the fact that I was somewhere and it was scary, not knowing what was about to happen. So I had to deal with that several months ago, intellectually. I'm okay. I think I'm still that person that like to learn. I'm still that person that like to figure things out. So I'm still that. That has not been taken away. Emotionally, it's been hard. So if you guys listen to me in my stories, I'm going to get back to that in a minute. So I'm going to get back to that. And spiritually, I'm finding my way. Sometimes you think sometimes you like, okay, well, I'm in that spot. But then there are times in your life where you feel disconnected. That's for me. And you're just trying to find that connection back. Something happened. Something along the line got disconnected. And I don't think it's the higher power. It's you. It's you dealing with something. For me, it was me dealing with something, trying to get my way back, trying to feel my way back. So let me go back to the emotional part. So recently I had an engagement at this prestigious school. I was very excited. Woohoo! First time doing something like that. And so I had to dig deep back into my past and go over things and talk. And I hadn't talked about that in a long time, so in depth. When I went there and I started having to rehash and go back over my life, that was a trigger for me. And I'm trying to balance out that trigger. You think that you're okay. And what I learned from that is that on your daily journey in life, although you're not thinking about it on the surface, it's still there. And there needs to be something to kind of balance your life out, like meditation. I meditate from time to time, but I realize that's something that I need to do to be more consistent with, to help me out every day, because it really did. I'm like, oh my God, where did this come from? Where did this feeling depressed and feeling down and just, and it takes a minute to get yourself out of that. Then with everything in the world going on, and then looking at social media and all the hate in the world, and you know, I just wish, I don't know, I know I'm going back and forth and babbling. I just wish that we would stop being so judgmental of other people, if we realize how our lives are sometimes, how it's going. I can't judge other people for what they're doing in their life. I really can't. But we have a tendency of always making people feel less than. Well, at least, well, I might smoke this, but at least I don't do this. You know what I'm saying? Well, at least I don't drink, or at least, it's always to make them feel better about situations. And none of us are perfect. And as the saying goes, nobody's leaving this thing alive. Ain't nobody leaving this thing called life alive. We all have to go somewhere. And in a time why we just can't be happy and get along and try to learn about each other, because there are a lot of hurting people out here. There are people that are going through some stuff, and sometimes you think you done went through stuff. Oh my God, listen to somebody else's story. I learned some things about myself over the past week or so, is that I realized that I have this thing where protection is my word. You got to protect me. You got to do this. You got to do that. And I realized that when I was younger, because of the things that transpired and those, the things that were done to me, I've always wanted protection. And I realized that I live my life. Excuse me. I live my life based on that lack, and I try to enforce it on other people. For example, if I'm talking to my husband, like, well, you got to protect me. But I'm giving him something that I have, and I'm expecting for him to solve it when I have no way of solving it myself. And I learned that is what I do to people and different things. I love from and try to get people to help me with that lack. I hope that makes sense. So if I'm friends with you, if I'm all these things, it's a protection thing. It's a thing where you're supposed to be there for me, because I don't know how to get there for myself. I have an expectation because of my lack that you're supposed to do it for me. And I think that's an unfair expectation that I put on other people from that place. I don't know how to get it, but I expect for you to know how to give it to me. That place of lack. And that is a mental thing. I'm glad that I kind of came up with that. So that's something, that's where my work is going to be right now. My work is going to be on trying to focus on trying to fix whatever it is that I need to heal from, trying to work on that place that keeps me, when I have to talk about something, keeps me going back to that moment in that space and reliving everything. Not to be able to go back and speak on those things and not have to rehash it and for it to bring me to that level. Physically, I plan on, I've changed my life, y'all. So y'all don't see how this go. I started back becoming a vegetarian. I'd done it years ago, but I realized that I need to change some things in my life, and maybe I won't have to have surgery if I go and change me. So I'm looking for somebody else to do something for me where I can probably change myself. So I'm researching and finding out what foods work for me, work for my DNA, work for those things. So I'll be talking about that later on, with this journey that I had to change intellectually. Said, hey, I'm there. It's always something I can learn. Sometimes I do slack. An emotional thing I'm going to work on, and the spiritual. I know that whatever your faith is, I'm not trying to push on yours, but I know that God created whatever you believe in. I know it's there. I just have to get myself back to where I was, or even better. Not maybe where I was, better. learn to do better with myself. So what I want to talk about now, get my depressing mode. I don't want to, keep you all depressed, right? So there are different trends now that they're coming up with for 2022 as far as mental health is concerned. And I want to talk about one that was pretty interesting. So they're going to start doing blood tests for mental illness. So in 2021, researchers at the Indiana University School of Medicine developed a novel blood test for mental illness, suggesting that biological markers for mood disorders can be found with RNA biomarkers. So that is something to look at, many times we go years and years and years to be diagnosed and not even know that that's what's going on, and that can probably help some people. I remember just recently, this young lady, I don't know her name, and she was a model lawyer and beautiful, just pretty and beautiful. And she was on TikTok and she jumped off high rise. And I'm sure people didn't know. They probably knew that she was depressed, or they probably knew that, something was wrong. But you never think that that's something that's going to happen, to people, that they're actually going to do it. And again, I don't think that suicide is necessarily a thing that people want to do. I think that they just don't know how to deal with the pain. How do I end the pain now? Listen, I don't know about tomorrow, but I know right now it's not feeling too good for me. So how do I end the pain? And maybe these tests and being able to know this is where you're headed sooner versus later, but it's just getting out there and doing the work. They also have a lot of what they call like virtual care, where you can get online and speak with, you don't have, since the pandemic, you don't have to go in like you used to. You can actually have sessions online with doctors if you need to see a psychologist or whoever you need, a mental health professional. You can get online and do that now. So you don't have to go anywhere in your home. If you don't want anybody to listen, if you have a car, go in your car and go to another place or something like that. So if you don't want to go inside, or you just rather, you can do that now, which is a good thing. Because many people are not, still not ready to go back out there. Although the world is opening up, some people are still kind of skeptical and they kind of, want to stay off to themselves. And we talking about that. So the network, this costs about $60 a week. So, but if you do have something at your job, they do have those where they will help you find a mental health specialist. And another thing, guys, is set boundaries on social media. Now I'm talking to y'all, but I need to be talking to myself. Sometimes social media can be so depressing. Oh my God. With all the hate, with all the things and people talking and nobody has understanding, it's just, I'm sorry, y'all. It just drives me crazy. And I know that's one thing. Note to Tammy, note to self. To kind of limit myself and to kind of hold back and do those things. Because sometimes I have a need to go and check stuff. So it's not that important. But what it's saying is that what is social media boundaries? And it is based upon you individually. It's saying that limit screen time, unfollow people, and don't read comments. I think this was meant for me. Limit screen times, unfollow people, and don't read the comments. That's my biggest problem. When something happens in the world, and I just want to see how everybody feels. I don't know why it matters what other people feel, because I know it's going to be crazy sometimes, because we lack so much, I don't know, understanding, and we love to make people feel a little, not sure. And that's what we do. That's what you would need to do. That's another thing. So last year, I believe a Facebook employee testified before they turned it over to, I think, like to Metaverse, about the negative effects of mental health on Instagram and everywhere, So I believe it does cause some type of trauma with mental health, because I think that many times people are looking for validation. You're looking for likes. You're looking for somebody to tell you. You're looking to be the next viral sensation. You look for them to say, "Well, listen, we like you. That picture you put up is beautiful. What you said was hilarious. What you said was so profound." And we need that for validation, for some people. And that says that we are coming from a place of lack, what I said earlier. Where we're lacking, looking for other people to validate it for us, to give us that we don't know how to get for ourselves. And so we expect for social media to give us that. If we feel like we're not beautiful enough, we're looking for the world to validate our beauty. You know, if you think you're whatever you think you are, if you don't have any attention, we're looking for the world to give us what we lack, attention, to make us feel a particular way. And all it is it's instant gratification, because as soon as you turn off that computer, as soon as the phone goes down, where are you at now? Who's feeling that lack? So again, those are things you have to work on individually. Again, I was talking about the telehealth services. Awesome. And guys, that is pretty much all I have. I just wanted to do a check-in. I just want to find out how you guys are doing. Want to reach out. If you're not sure, hey, get with someone, talk with somebody, get a friend, get people, sometimes it's easy to talk to strangers. Get a social media. I know I'm talking about social media, but there are groups on there with people who are going through some of the same things you're going through. I'm sure of it. Support groups. I know I've done a benefit with NAMI, NAMI, and they provide mental health services. If you don't know, call me. My number is 773-251-5537. I have a not-for-profit organization called Connected by Love Consulting. And what I do is I just send you to the right resources, whatever you need to find, whatever you don't know, I help you to find that service. I deal with mental health, domestic violence, and sexual abuse. And trying to find where you can go in your city and wherever you are. That is my job, because we all need help. And the first step is admitting that you need help, and to go to someone who can help you find where to get it. Because I believe that's where most of us lack. How to find help, where to get help, and for, not have somebody judge you with trying to get help. So that's what I'm here for. Again, thank you for listening to me, Tammy Montgomery Dozier. What happens in this house stays in this house. Strength over silence. Please, people, create a great week, day, and life. Love you to life. Have a good one.